Hi, I'm Julia from Julia Teaching Resources, and I'm here to walk you through one of my wonderful products here, the Elements of Music Bundle. So you can find it here. Now, the wonderful thing about this, there are 12 products in this resource, and I'm going to walk you through each of those. And let's just make sure we can see everything. So you can see that there's the Elements of Music Rhythm, Dynamics, Harmony, Melody, Structure or Form, depending on what way you want to say it. Texture, tonality, performing media or tone color or timbre, depending again on what you want to say, call it. Peel paragraph writing, TtriplexC paragraph writing, and the last two are the music listening writing prompts worksheets, and then also the music listening response worksheets, which are based on the Super 6. Okay, so let's have a little look at all of these. So that's where it is in my store, but I will open up each part as to show you. Okay, so let's have a look at dynamics, seeing how that's on the top. All right, I'll just make that a bit smaller for you. Okay, and lift that up. Awesome. Alrighty, so you can see here we've got the cover. Sorry, I'm just making that the best size possible. And if you hear anything going past, it's probably a train. I live on a train line. So in each of the each of the elements, it's set up exactly the same. So let's just walk you through. So, hello. All right, so for each of these at the beginning, so what do you know about dynamics? So if it was texture, it would say, what do you know about texture? And, you know, just a good old KWL. It's a good way to get things going. Then in each of them, there are links to music. So this means that in the term, there's some videos explaining these things, and also a good example of, say, some music, you know, it says listen to the chorus for AC/DC, Thunderstruck for Fortissimo, okay, etc., etc. So again, some examples of each of the terms there. Then there's also some suggested listening. So good one, you know, songs to actually go to. So these are all, as I said, YouTube links. You just obviously have to click on those and it'll take you straight to it. So these are just some suggested listening that you might want to use when you're explaining dynamics to your students. Okay, glossary of terms. So it's the same thing as on the other page. However, it's just without all the links. Okay, so it's the term and definition. And then these pages, so depending on what element of music you've got, there might be more stacks, more of these things. Okay, so then there's a concept of definition map. So you can choose to do this with your students. So for example, they might put in the what do you call it, say Fortissimo in here. The category it belongs to is dynamics. An example would be something from, you know, some music. Examples, Thunderstruck, or the very ending of Tchaikovsky's 1812 overture with the cannons. Okay, some examples. Then properties or characteristics, and again, that just simply means just define it. So what is it? So Fortissimo means very loud. Okay, and you might want to even put the symbol. Okay, that's the sort of thing that is, and it's just a really good way to get kids going. It honestly, when I'm doing this, I actually put this up on the board and I get the kids to do this in their books. I don't get photocopy every page. I get them to actually do, you know, set up the element of music or the term in the middle, the category it belongs to, the properties, characteristics, and they just basically do a little mind map. Okay, so that's how I do it. Again, this is spelling practice. You'd be surprised how even senior students, my year 12s, we do spelling practice because they have a terrible time spelling some of these words. Okay, another way to learn the terms, again, depends. You can either tell your students which ones they're doing, or you could do it differently for each element of music, doesn't matter. Word, so Fortissimo again for the example, define it, and then an image. So it might be whatever image. It's better if the kids come up with the image themselves, and something to remind them and connect them to what the actual definition is. They'll remember it more likely that way. And again, I don't necessarily photocopy these pages. I get the kids to actually do this activity with each of the words. I tell them how many to do, and they do it into their books that way. Element of music, a tree. So again, you might want to put, you know, so dynamics in the middle, and it could be, you know, fortissimo, forte, however you want to do it. Okay, so write the different things that are on there. And this is just another strategy for learning terms. So the keyword, again, sorry, I'll just use that same definition. Fortissimo, the information, it belongs to dynamics. It is a, it means very loud. A memory clue could be, the term, okay, like the, what do you call it? The symbol, okay, and a statement or sentence. It could be something like, in fortissimo is a term used in dynamics that means very loud. Okay, something like that. Okay, so it's just getting them to do that. And again, another way to help them learn the terms. I like to give lots of different ways because people like different examples. Okay, so new word, fortissimo, what it means, an image to help them. Synonyms, so something's very similar might be just something to say like very loud. The opposite would be very soft or pianissimo. Context in music refers to the volume. And again, a sentence or question helping them to remember it or put it into some context. Okay, so now after those things, there are the listening response worksheets. So again, each one is set up exactly the same. They're just a little bit different in terms of the questions. So level 1 is usually the most simple questions. Okay, is it loud or soft? Are there any changes? What emotion, etc. Oh, that should be feel, not felt. Sorry about that. Worksheet 2 is always a comparison at that level. Okay, so it is based on these sort of questions. And level 2, in listening response worksheet 2, is a comparison. So it's, the piece of music comparing 2 different versions. Okay. Again, and then there's some space for them to write the similarities and the differences between the 2 pieces. Then worksheet 3, it becomes a little bit more detailed. Again, I don't know why I've got fell in there. Sorry, I apologize. Then again, the questions get a little bit detailed. And again, that is then lesson response number 4 is based on a comparison of those same things. Okay, and again, similarities and differences. Again, I don't put these, when I'm doing this with my kids, I put this up on the board, and again, we write into our books. I don't give them the worksheets. You can, but you don't have to. The only time they get the worksheets is if we're doing an assignment. That's it. Then number 5 is, make a list of 3 pieces of music that use dynamics in a similar way. So again, we're just bumping up the level of complexity. So they've got to find, again, I'd use this for an assignment. Get them to find 3 pieces of music and then talk about the similarities. Okay, and then the next one is the similar purpose for dynamics. Okay, similar purpose. So is it there to wake you up? Is it to dramatic ending? Whatever it happens to be. Okay, and this is unity. How things are unified. So what is similar? Okay, so how is dynamics using unity? Next one, variety. Okay. Again, these are they're all the same, each one. I'll show you another one for contrast. So again, these are more higher level things for the kids to do. And then number 10 is make a performance program of 5 pieces of music that use dynamics in different or similar ways. So you could specify that you want to have a contrasting program or based on a certain instrument or a certain style or a certain genre. Okay, and then the kids fill in those, they research, find those 5, and then the program, the title, and then the program notes, okay, justifying what it is. And that's the end. So let me I'll just quickly show you then, say, let's go to rhythm. Okay, so you can see that it's set up the same way. So whoops, I won't go that small, sorry. Okay, so here we go, a KWL, links to music. So again, some examples with all the definitions. Alrighty, suggested listening, glossary of terms, which is what we're on the other pages. However, it's just the terms. Okay, and then again, you can see it's the concept of definition map, practicing the words, definition image, concept tree, Kim strategy, new word strategy, and then we've got the listening response sheet. So you can see level 1's quite simple. Level 2 is a comparison. Then they write paragraphs. Level 3, a lot more detail, a lot more things that you're going to ask them to do. Again, a comparison. And then we talk about things that are similarities, similarities in purpose, how unity is created, how variety is created, contrast is created, okay, and then a listening response is finding 5 pieces, and again, you can specify how you want them to do this, and then a program. Okay, so I won't go through each one because they all do exactly the same. this is a bonus for you. This is level 1 listening question cards. Okay, so you can see hints for using these cards. I actually print these ones out and have them on rings for the kids, so again they can use these cards. So these are exactly the same questions that are in level 1 of each of the the elements of music. So dynamics, harmony, sorry, I should just do that, melody, performing media and timbre, rhythm, structure, tonality, texture. Okay, and that's it. That's just a bonus. You can get that one freebie. You can have a look. Listening response worksheets, these are a little bit different. So these are based on the Super 6. Now the best thing with all of these products is you can use this with any piece of music, any style, any genre that you're studying, and you can tailor it to whatever you need. You can also do like differentiation with this. So there's stacks of things. You can see like there's a lot of pages in here. So we go through and we have got making connections. So composer, genre, instrument, listening, concept, making connections again. You know, these were developed by me. Combining new with old. Okay, after listening music, what does it remind you of? Again, these are just making connections ones, and then there's some simple questions, and obviously music connections to genre, composer, to music in general, and then there's some other ones here. Okay, and you can see then there's visualizing and making connections, and then we've got the same thing, we've got monitoring. Okay, so monitoring, okay, which is similar, light up your listening. There's so much in here, and again this can be used with any piece of music. Predicting, I'm not going to talk through all of them because there's so many. Okay, questioning, creating questions, visualizing. I have to say this is one of my most favorite activities to do with visualizing. Again, another bits and pieces. Kids like doing these ones. Visualizing, predicting. Okay, summarizing. I'm Australian, so I spell that with an S. I'm not sure if I put it in with a Z. Okay, and then comparison. And okay, these are different types of summaries. Again, these are really good to add to the other things you were doing, you know, music 1, music 2, similarities and differences, and using with them. They work really well. I tend to use this one a lot. I like this one better. 3-circle map, which is a fantastic thing to do again, especially with things like dynamics, what's beginning, middle, end. Okay, again, you can use it with any element of music. Another way to do it. Okay, and that's what's in the listening one. Then the same deal, we've got the peel paragraphs. Now, if you've got the writing templates are based again all on the the different elements of music. All follow the same thing. There's some marking rubrics for you, and then these questions follow along with the levels. Okay, and again, if you're going to put the information into paragraphs, this is just a good way for the kids to actually do this. So if I show you the TtriplexC, it's just a different paragraph structure. That's all. It's the same format. It's just a different paragraph structure depending on what you are using in your school. Okay, you can see it's very similar. Okay, dynamics, again, same questions, but this is the bit that's different, the template. So when I'm doing assignments with kids, this is what I will often give them. So I will give them those questions, and then this, and then they actually have to, then I give them another space to just write it out. So that's for planning. The last one that I want to show you though, sorry, I'm trying to be quick here, listening and writing prompts. Again, these can be used with anything, with any class, it doesn't matter. Part of an assignment, I've given you a whole heap of information there. But you know, just different writing prompts. My favorite song, best instrument, life without music. Okay, and now these are all planning pages. So reason 1 in a sentence, because it's a really good way for kids who are struggling writers to actually get themselves into writing. And you can see every single one of those is the same. Okay, and then there's some other ones. So these are based on the elements of music now. Dynamics, different harmony, and it gets just a little bit more complicated. So number 1 is easy, number 2 is harder. Okay, again, great for differentiation if you've got kids who are better or struggle, you know, whatever you need to do. Musical form, texture, tonality, and then there's this could be something, it's a bit more vague, blank, because you can say what you want them to do in this one. Okay, and that is it. So then I've also given you some writing pages to write on for the assignment. Okay, if you want to do it as an assignment, give me a stack because, you know, we've got to like these things. Okay, and that is all the wonderful stuff that is in this lovely product, which if I go here and I go back to number 1, you can see the products there. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a bit more of an idea of what is actually in this amazing product. Again, it is a lifelong tool. You'll be using this for years to come. Okay, if you have any questions, make sure you give me a pop an email or ask a question in the in what do you call it, in here. Have a great day.